Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Jess from UpsideDownPencil A.K.A. the Dominican Puck-Head, and welcome to my hockey hot takes. Hey guys, welcome to my hockey hot takes. We're going to talk a little Bruins right now. As you guys might know, especially the hardcore Bruins fans, it's been quite a busy summer for the Bruins thus far. Especially with the NHL draft and free agency. Big news for the Bruins. They made a little splash in free agency, which is music to a lot of Bruins ears. Especially having a guy like David Krejci for the next 5 years is going to be great. Some people feel the number's a little bit high at $6 million, probably even the term. But I think it's a good deal for the Bruins. I think that they need that jam back in their system. Their identity obviously was lost over the last couple of years with Lucic being gone, and I think I bring it all the way back to even Nathan Horton and Gimla and all those other guys, and Sean Thornton, Gregory Campbell, all those guys that brought a little jam to the Bruins, and we certainly missed that in the lineup. So a little bit about David Krejci for those who do not know him that well. He was a captain for the St. Louis Blues for a good number of years. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for 10 years. He can score. A lot of people don't underrate him for that, for lack of goal scoring, but I think he can chip in around 20 goals for the Bruins, along with providing great leadership qualities in the room. Like I say, he has some jam to his game. He'll drop the gloves if he needs to protect his teammates. Just a solid leader, and I think it's exactly what they need on the Bruins. He's also versatile. I mean, he can play both the wing and center position, which there has been a lot of controversy about that in itself regarding David Krejci and what the Bruins are going to do with him. But a little bit more about Krejci later on in the show. But sticking with Backus, I think he's what the doctor ordered for the Bruins. I mean, when people hit free agency, you have to pay, and that's the bottom line pretty much. And it doesn't matter what player it is, you're going to end up overpaying just a little bit. But other than that, he's a great pickup. Looking forward to the season already. Obviously, there's a big name out there still that may be available for the Bruins. Jimmy Vizzy. I don't know how you pronounce his name. People pronounce it different ways, just like every other hockey name that's out there. But he's a local kid from North Reading. Won the Hobie Baker Award this past year playing for the Harvard Crimson. Very, very lethal scorer. Big body. I believe he's 6'3", above 200 pounds. So he's a big boy. Has improved his skating over the years. So if you can nab him, and he's 23 years old, coming in from the NCAA, it's going to be a good pickup for the Bruins. But there are other teams rumored to be in him as well. Obviously, the Buffalo Sabres got traded for his rights from the Predators for a third-round pick. A lot of people wonder why the Bruins didn't do that. They got their reasons, I guess. But it seems like he's still going to test free agency on August 15th, so it's going to be an interesting another summer. And to be honest, I really think the Bruins feel they have a very good shot at Jimmy Vizzy. And I'll tell you why. They had the chance to really, they had the access to make a trade for a left wing if they really wanted to. They had the assets, they had the young prospects, they have first round picks to give. And even though the D is the main component of what they really need to shore up, I think they have more than enough pieces to go out there and get a left wing. And they're leaving that spot open. I mean, they got a lot of prospects, but I don't see a guy like Jakob being mature enough to kind of take over that role. And you got Beleskey, who's a solid third line left wing, but I don't believe he belongs in the top six. Just doesn't score enough. But a guy like Jimmy Vizzy, I think they're making or hoping to leave that spot open and kind of make it more of an interesting destination for him, because he is analyzing the prospect pools of each team and where he feels he fits best. And I think Boston's a good fit for him. But a lot of responsibility comes with that, with wanting to play for your hometown team and having all that pressure, especially in a big hockey market like Boston. I don't know, he may be better off in Buffalo, but it's all up to him what he sees for his future. And But I would say this, that Boston is far closer to contending than Buffalo is, and Buffalo I think is a few years away, even with Jack Eichel there. But pretty much I think they have a good shot at Vizzy, and hopefully that works out for the Bruins. I said I was going to touch on David Krejci. David Krejci, I loved him from the very start of his career. A very cerebral player on the ice. Plays a 200-foot game. Very, very mature player. He can slow the game down. He can speed it up. He's great on the power play. But he's coming off his second hip surgery. And that could be a plus, that could be a minus for the Bruins. I do not know how that hinders his trade value, maybe somewhat. But I think there are teams out there that have been salivating at the chance to get to Krejci. I know the Anaheim Ducks had some interest in him a few years back. I know St. Louis Blues had some interest in David Krejci. Perhaps in the Detroit Red Wings had some interest in David Krejci. And I know a team for sure will be the Nashville Predators will have some interest in David Krejci as well. We all know that the Bruins need some defensive help. All those teams that I mentioned pretty much have, aside from the Red Wings, some defensive depth that could provide the Bruins some options there. But he's a workhorse. He's a proven playoff performer. Would hate to see him go, but the Bruins really need somebody in the back end, someone young, someone that has some sort of experience, someone that can move the puck out of the zone, someone that's going to provide a shot from the point, provide options. Somebody that plays a 3-zone game, and it's hard to find those guys, but they are out there, and it's probably going to take an arm and a leg, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bruins kind of give up something of significant here to make it happen, and I do think it will happen. I don't see David Krejci being a Bruin this year. It's unfortunate, but I just don't see it. I know people speculating about Tuukka Rask too. I think there are trades there to be made. I'm not so sure of how happy the organization is with Tuukka, obviously with his off-ice issues at times. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, nobody truly knows what's going on inside the locker room. Only the players do. So I have a feeling that they will explore options, but I think Tuukka Rask will be your starting goalie coming up this season. They did sign Anton Khudobin, which was interesting options, and there were some interesting comments made by Sweeney regarding Malcolm Subban and referencing him in the same breath as pretty much Murray and what he did for the Penguins and helping them win the Stanley Cup this year. So that was interesting. So, I mean, even though I'm saying that I see Rask sticking around with the Bruins come training camp and the opening day, I think that there are some options there, and I think they will explore them. Right now, they have a lot of prospects. My favorite prospect right now, the guy that I'm keeping my eye on the most is actually Zachary Senyshyn. He was drafted last year, 15th overall by the Boston Bruins. He's a right wing. I believe he's about 6'2", 200 pounds. Very mature build. Can fly. Has world-class speed. Has an NHL shot. If you check out a lot of his graphics, all of his goals are right around the net. And he usually blows by defensemen on the right side and goes in for, right to the crease and scores his goals. So that's exactly the type of Bruin player you need. He doesn't shy away. He's not a banger, but he doesn't shy away from the physical stuff. He's still learning the game. Still has to round out his both sides of the puck skills and make sure he's more alert on the defensive end, because we all know Claude Julien. He doesn't. If you can't play defense, no matter how talented you are, Sagan, you're pretty much done with the Bruins. So let's hope that Senyshyn can impress in training camp, and hopefully he gets a little look. Although I think and feel that he does deserve not deserve, but I feel that Senyshyn should spend another year in the OHL and try to round out his game a little bit more. But he's definitely got the tools, and so let's see how he ends up maturing as a prospect. Another prospect that I like a lot is Jakob Forsbacka-Karlsson. I love the name JFK. Many people, including scouts, have his game modeled after Patrice Bergeron. If you say the name Patrice Bergeron with any player, I am your #1 fan. You will become my man crush right off the bat. It doesn't matter. So I'm intrigued by him. He had a very solid year, scored 10 goals, I believe had over 30 points his freshman year for Boston University this past season. So very, very impressive. I heard rumblings about maybe perhaps trying to get him in the fold. So, I mean, we'll see some what dominoes fall and see how long of a look he gets in training camp, but I do believe he's going to go back to BU this upcoming season. So for right now, guys, that's all I have. So I'll keep you guys updated on my vlogs and on my hot hockey takes, whether they're hot or actually cold. Alright guys, so I'll see you soon. Thank you for checking in. Remember, Jess from Upside Down Pencil. Go to our blog, www.upsidedownpencil.com. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter @InspiredPencil. So signing out, A.K.A. the Dominican Puck-Head. See you guys later. Bye.